Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Clint Eastwood may be in his 90s, but he's not slowing down as a director or actor. His latest film, Macho, has him back in the saddle as an aging cowboy. It's now in theaters and streaming on HBO Max, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Eastwood's character, Mike Milo, was once a prized rodeo star, winning titles and ribbons, but alcohol and accidents got the best of him. It's now 1979, and his friend Howard, played by Dwight Yoakam, asks Mike to head down to Mexico to rescue his son and bring him back to Texas. Mike agrees and convinces Howard's son, Rafo, played by Eduardo Minette, to leave his mom and his street life behind to be with a dad that he rarely knows. Now, being the rugged guy that Mike is makes him a fish out of water in Mexico. He relies on Rafo and their newfound friendship to make their way safely across the border. Macho is the third collaboration between Eastwood and writer Nick Schenk, who also wrote The Mule and Gran Torino. Clint Eastwood is swift and lean in his choices as a director. He's known for very minimal takes and not wasting time. And the beginning feels a little bit bumpy because of that, in how they set up the story, and there's some awkward dialogue and bad line readings between Clint Eastwood and Dwight Yoakam. There's some choppy pacing here too that kind of seems to level out once we get to the road trip portion of this story. Now, a lot of that won't matter, as this is really an approachable story with some really life lessons along the way. This is essentially a road trip movie between a 91-year-old and a 13-year-old. There's some easy humor that comes with that generational divide between the two of them. And Mike is the classic Clint character that we've seen from him play for decades, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's the last of a dying breed of cowboys, which could also be said for Clint as an actor and the Western genre. A good Western is rare, and there aren't many actors like Clint, or really that type out there outside of maybe Kevin Costner, who also dabbles in the genre. Synopsis works as a swan song for Eastwood's life and career. Mike is the kind of character who knows how to fix anything, from a car to a jukebox, and even makes a crack at being a Dr. Dolittle type, as we see how he has this way with animals. Now, despite his age, he's a character that's still learning and growing, and that's really where the soul of Macho lies, in that bond between Mike and Rafo. We see Rafo learn about the cowboy life that Mike has led for decades, and Mike is then learning about Rafo's life and culture, really keeping an open eye to a life outside of what he's known his whole life. And like the title suggests, their dialogue offers up a discussion on the definition that society puts on masculinity and personal strength. Macho will certainly appeal to an older audience, whether they're tried and true Clint fans or just people that appreciate the adult type of story that this is. I'm giving Macho 3 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got some of the movie reviews, as well as my appearances on Twin Cities Live. Don't forget to follow my Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Macho. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.